Open the meeting. Notice is given that the regular meeting of the Greenwood Board of Trustees will be held at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, March 11th, 2026 at the Yale McDonald Community Center located at 619 Main Street, Greenwood, Nebraska. Said meeting is open and the public is encouraged to attend. Board of Trustees reserves the right to adjourn to exec session for state status 84-1410. The Open Meeting Act is posted in the meeting room for the public to view. Roll call: Stephanie.
Here.
Kevin.
Here.
Tanya.
Here.
Mark. Here. Don here. Consent agenda minutes, approval of time cards, payroll, detailed reports, financials, profit loss, balance sheets. Are there any additions or corrections?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Consent agenda, approval of time cards, payroll detail report, financials, profit loss, and balance sheet.
Got the minutes.
Oh, and the minutes too.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call: Kevin.
Aye.
Tanya.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Don. Aye. Stephanie.
Aye.
We're gonna skip to the sheriff's report.
All right, for the month of February, Cass County Sheriff's Office patrolled 66.5 hours. We answered 7 calls for service, issued 9 citations and 12 warnings of violations.
All right. Any questions for the sheriff?
Any trends or upticks in the county or in general?
Just the usual, really. Just last weekend was a little unusual. A lot of something was in the water with the armed disturbances over the last weekend, so that was anything west of 50. It seemed like Louisville and west. It seemed like so. That's not like a typical pattern. I think it was just an anomaly for the weekend.
I blame the time change.
There we go. Alcohol always helps too.
Yeah. Anything else for the sheriff? All right, thank you.
And Mark, I just sent you that email.
Thank you, I think I got it.
Okay, have a good night.
Thank you.
We'll go back to the water report. There were sewer reports in there, so. Any questions on the water?
Quick one on that, you did say we had one customer complain about the cloudiness of the water, we know what it is, and so forth, just get that on the record.
Okay.
And it is not a danger to the public.
Okay, maintenance report. Nobody that can do. Clerk's report.
Next week I'll be at the clerk training all week, and Jen's gonna fill in some for me.
Okay. Anything for Janet, or not Janet, but Darlene?
No.
Planning zoning, looks like they had their meeting, so that's good. Fire and rescue.
Even though they're not here, just know that tomorrow is supposed to be like the battle of the worst for dry fire danger conditions. So the general public would adhere and not do any outdoor burning at all. It would be spectacular. I don't care if it's in a contained fire pit behind your house. They're talking 30 sustained, 42 gusts. That's a recipe for disaster. Just wait. It'll be green soon. That's all I got to add to that.
Anything for fire and rescue? Anybody?
I see we got their minutes.
Yeah, fine.
It's good, thank you.
Park and rec? Anything from them?
No, we're meeting on Wednesday next week, that's it.
Library?
Just want to say thank you for the donations we've received for the egg hunt. And we could use, if anyone has any candy donations, we could use a few more. And also, any volunteers to assist with stuffing eggs, we're gonna stuff about 1,300 of those or so. And that's about it. I haven't been able to print for 2 days, today or yesterday, so hopefully at some point we can get that worked out.
Anything for the library? Communications of citizens. State name.
My name's Ariel Blamer. I'm a Cass County resident. I'm here with Cass County Our Water, Our Future. We're a citizen coalition just raising awareness about Source 2.0, which is Lincoln's second source. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it, but it's one of the most major water infrastructure projects to ever be built in Cass County. At this time, they're offering nothing in Cass County, and I know this affects Greenwood because they used 150 million of the 200 million in ARPA funds that they got, all to upgrade going to the Platte. So we as a coalition also include the Platte River project and the one going all the way down to Missouri. They're offering absolutely nothing. They're gonna pipe across 34 miles of our land here in Cass County. They're gonna build, I think it's a 164 acre treatment plant off of Highway 75, so way south, southeast of the county, just I guess south of Plattsmouth, if you guys know what Beaver Lake is, right around that area. So it's gonna be treated here, it's gonna be piped through here, and it's gonna be pulled from our aquifers and the Missouri River, and then they also upgraded the line over the Pratt Platte, so I'm sure that affected you guys, because you didn't get any of that water either. It's not being offered to any of Cass County. They will use eminent domain to do it. Cass County wasn't even used in like the planning of the project. They kind of blindsided Cass County with this whole project. It was already planned. So a lot of the commissioners, we went to the commissioners meeting yesterday, and they're starting a subcommittee. So if you guys have any input for them, I know Dwayne Murdoch, can't remember what the other commissioner is going to be on that subcommittee, and they're going to work with us a lot. We have Mark Patton also. He did this for 30 years, so he has tons of experience in this area. But we're just raising awareness, and then I have kind of handouts for you guys. That's all. If you guys have any questions about it, I'll be happy to answer them.
Cause at one time, cause we got 2 wells and they're not very good, we tried to tap in, try to get water from them. And they basically said no, but it was gonna be an astronomical amount of money to do it, so.
Yeah, they've just told us absolutely no, but they'll said, oh, we'll talk to you in 2035 or 2040, and we know how those promises worked for everybody along this Platte pipeline. So that's why we're trying to get involved now before any pipes are laid in the ground. And this is like, this is 40 million gallons a day going through this pipeline. It's a 5-foot pipeline, so the height of me all the way around. Like, it's one of the largest projects in the area for water that we've ever seen. They don't need all this water. There's big data centers being built everywhere, so you can guess where a lot of this water is going, because they're offering nothing. And Cass County has all the way along the way, like Union, Alville, Manly, all these towns are just, Elmwood, Murdoch, Eagle, they're all struggling, and they all need water. They all have either nitrate issues or something else going on, and Lincoln's offering nothing. They're just kind of like storming past Cass County, like we're just gonna put it in, and you don't have a choice. So that's why we're trying to raise awareness with different community leaders, especially villages. The commissioners are getting involved. They're trying. They obviously want water for Cass County as well. It's a lot of these farmers are gonna get bulldozed through too, because it ruins their land. They're doing a 100-foot easement, and they're gonna do 60 back is gonna be permanent, and then 40 is gonna be just a construction temporary easement, probably for 10 years while they do it, but that land's destroyed for probably 30. Yeah, it just goes on and on, but they're only gonna give them a one-time, this is what your land's worth, and they're not gonna pay anywhere close to what they're paying per acre for the lands they're acquiring from, like, for the treatment plant and for the well sites. And then we just found out about like another pump station that they're doing, but they paid 28 an acre for 156 acres or 164, something like that. Yeah, so they are using those ARPA funds. It was also supposed to be a regional solution when they pitched it to the committees in the legislature to get this funding. They've offered absolutely nothing to anybody but themselves. They're not even offering to Lancaster County. Lancaster County wants the water as well, because there's so much of it. They can definitely share it, and we can do more projects. We can do another pipeline later. There's certain things we can do, and it would benefit all these communities, but they're literally just saying no. So that's the biggest issue. Sorry, I didn't mean to just talk to him. If you guys have any questions too, I'm happy to answer them.
Because I know we've got pipeline that runs through our town.
Right.
Over top of homes and things. And we had to put a sewer line in, it cost us like 10 times more because of it went over top of their water line, so.
Right, and then the 150 they just spent on the Platte one went right past Ashland, and now Ashland had to get a bond
Right.
to do theirs. What about them getting part of this 150 million that was just spent with their associated regional solution? So they're just getting it for themselves, and it was so much money that it should have gone to the original solution, and that's what we're pushing for. Because at first we were saying, no, don't go through Cass County then, find another, go to McConaughey or whatever, like those places, but they can't, I don't know what, they looked at different alternatives, and this was the only one, so, yes.
Gotcha. So, yeah, we understand what you're dealing with, we deal with it every year.
Yeah, yeah. You guys are close to Lincoln too, so you're probably used to them walking over you.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
but that was put back in the 50s.
Well, we've got 3 water lines in our jurisdiction,
Right.
so, yeah.
So,
Did the new plat one go through here?
it's
The newest water line that we've got runs down Church Road and cuts across down past the cemetery out across the fields. But
Okay,
the original one is actually,
that's 54 inch.
yeah, and that runs right down the highway.
54 is big.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're going straight down McKelvey Road
Yep.
all the way to the Missouri River. We don't know after 75 what they're gonna do. They keep going back between Kenosha, if you know, McKelvey and Kenosha. So we don't know what's gonna happen that way, but, I mean, they blindsided Cass County. They asked to do surveys back in March, and then they went to the planning commission meeting in July, and they said, we'd like to add to agricultural zoning, we'd like to add, pipelines, wells, treatment plants, and lagoons, all of these things, and planning was like, whoa, what is happening? They brought like a bunch of lawyers down to change the ag zoning. That doesn't even sound like ag zoning at all, so they pushed it off, but they haven't stopped buying land, they haven't stopped, they asked for bids for the treatment plant already for grading, they put it out for bid, and then they canceled the bid. Cass County has not been involved whatsoever, so it's kind of frustrating.
Like you said earlier, they can do it by eminent domain, so,
Yes, but
but they
there's an
still.
argument that it has to be a regional solution if they're gonna use eminent domain. So that's the crux, so, yeah.
No, I agree.
Thank you guys for letting me speak also.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any questions for her? Okay. Public hearing, we'll open up the public hearing at 7:13 for Jess Smith conditional use permit on 250 Broad Street. Anything for the permit at this time?
The only thing I can comment is that they are doing this for internal use only. The permit was requested so they could do automobile sales or get a dealer's license for automobile sales internally. That's the only reason it was done. So,
At this time, I'll take anybody against the conditional use permit at 250 Broad Street. Nobody? We close the hearing at 7:14. Old business, discussion, possible action on the utility reading, billing, and collecting.
Since our last meeting, Tanya and I have had several good discussions with Darlene and Alan regarding our utility reading, billing, and collecting. Our first step is to get our reading capabilities above 95%. That's gonna involve installing some getting the new meters installed, getting current meters straightened out so they read correctly. We had a short discussion about, it's gonna be a long 2 months. Our goal is for the May reading, that we have this, we're ready to try something new and see where that takes us. I've been in communication with Alan. He thought that, that timeline was suitable for him to get meters changed, get the meters reading correctly, and he was good with that. We talked with Darlene. Darlene's good, fighting it for another 2 months. She's a trooper. had a short discussion recently, yesterday, about, once we get everything reading, how are we gonna get it into Power Manager, make sure everything jives? We're not sure how we're gonna do that yet, but there's discussions. I just tonight came up with the, why don't we ask some other communities that have tankless, how they do? And is it seamless for them? Because again, I think that the collecting the data, making it a bill, getting the bills sent out, receiving the money should be no more than an 8-hour-a-month ordeal. And right now, we're way past that. That's our end goal. We've got a plan in place. Stay tuned for more updates, I guess. Questions? That's where we've gotten since the last meeting, so. Being ever so slow and painful, there's progress.
Went up 9% a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, Alan's doing a great job getting the meters in, and that's, you know, we had some problems with a couple of them reading correctly. Or was it reading or they just wouldn't transmit? How do we classify that? Okay. All right, so, yeah, we don't have any action to take right now. Just know that we're making progress. Hopefully. That's all I have for that. Does anybody have any questions or comments on that? We're doing our best.
Moving in the right direction.
Like I said, when I first found out about this, I couldn't believe the amount of time we're spending on utilities. We've established the problems, we're working towards a solution, and we know what our end goal is, so we're gonna go from there.
Any other questions? Approve or disapprove purchase of banners.
That was on the agenda about a month ago, but it was never approved. It was tabled for samples. So I just wanted to put it out here. 2 new banners with shipping and everything, roughly $140. So just wanted to make a motion to,
How many?
just for the 2 to replace right now. It's about half the price of what the other company was. So that is, yeah, 2 banners, 18 ounce, 5-day printing, which is the cheapest, and that makes it $60, $59 each plus shipping. So, let's make a motion to purchase 2 banners to replace, or 2 pole banners to replace the ones that are missing on Main Street, not to exceed $150.
For a second.
I'll second that.
Roll calls. Tanya?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Don, aye. Stephanie?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
New business. Approve or disapprove claims list A.
I'll make a motion to approve claims listed.
For a second.
I'll second.
Roll call. Mark?
Aye.
Don, aye. Stephanie?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
Tanya?
Aye.
Discussion possible action, IT with you.
Okay. We've had numerous problems again this week and last week with certain things, and I think, he was in here, 2 days in a row? Thursday, Friday. We made a little progress. Alan has a laptop that he can use now, so it's not just one terminal for the tankless stuff. But in the process of that, I think library stuff went down, the printer went down, and a couple other things too. So it's just, we fixed one problem and 2 more pop up. I don't know what's going on here. So I just wanted to get that documented out there.
Did you ask Chad what's going on?
I've tried. We've sent emails. In fact, today there was a response. We had an issue. You sent an email, I think it was at 2 o'clock today, and he finally got back to you at 6 o'clock tonight.
I sent my first one yesterday at 2,
Okay.
and then right before this meeting, he called,
Okay.
thinking I wasn't here, but, yeah, because usually I'm not, but he's trying to assist by getting to the computer. I didn't, after about 10
Yeah,
minutes, it was not comfortable, having someone at the
Right,
back there, so.
Anyway, it's just been ongoing problems here. I know he's trying to work through them, but it's hindering production in the office and in the library.
Okay, so, again, instead of just replacing him, let's figure out what the problem is first and foremost. Chad, what is the problem? Is it an IT software issue? Is it a hardware issue? Because we discussed, part of Darlene and my discussions was, we have some antiquated laptops.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, those, yes.
I mean,
It's,
again, is it hardware, software, internet connection? What, we have to define the problem before we go hunting a solution.
actually, that was another question. Do you know if the internet dropped today or yesterday? You said you're having issues over at the fire station again.
I never said I was having issues at the fire station again.
Oh, okay.
They had issues a while back, when I was talking to Chad. Chad said, the internet's there.
Okay,
I said, okay.
okay.
Now, I don't know if the people that are having issues at the fire station are looking for the right internet, or if they're trying to reset the Windstream again.
Okay.
Cause
They
it-
were trying to do on Windstream, we don't have Windstream.
Right, okay.
So,
That was the
there was internet there, we just never told the fire department, hey, you got new internet, go looking for this instead. There was never an IT issue there.
Okay.
But
Okay.
again, we have to clearly define the problem.
Yep.
Ask for a solution and a timeline for said solution, then I'll get mad. But until then,
Okay.
you know, we're still just generalizing things.
Understood.
I did ask for a timeline, you know, for our issues.
Did he say anything today?
He said he does not know.
Okay.
So the only issue we're having right now is printers being online?
No, it's, we can't do receipts on the Star machine either for the patrons. We can't run the printer. Those are the two main things.
Are there any other issues?
The printer's full,
That's on the computer itself.
it's something. It was changing up IP addresses due to some network things that had been done remotely, from what my understanding.
Darlene, do you have any issues? Right?
The only problem I have, is the laptop doesn't work, but I think there might be more problems, and I haven't dug into that yet, so I wasn't. The office runs, just.
Well, you guys talked about getting a committee, like we have water, sewer, electric. Why don't we form an IT committee?
We talked about that, but I don't know, I was gonna read the handbook and find out, you know,
How we do that? What the
if,
process is?
if we can just say, hey, we wanna have an IT committee now.
I don't know why you can't, because we got a fire department committee, we got a park and rec committee. we
Yeah, it just
got-
has to be on the agenda to form it.
All it is so two people can meet together, you can't have more than two, otherwise it's a meeting.
It's like Don had been on the building committee before.
Right, and that's kinda what, yeah,
It just has to be an action item on the agenda.
Right, so, I mean, we can assign that at any time, it's just, we've always had them committees, so it's always moved forward. So it ain't like we have to have an ordinance or a resolution.
see, and that's, I didn't know if it took something like that, I was gonna check and,
No.
but I told them, so.
Cause that is something that you gotta, it's gotta be by law. So.
Right,
So do you want that on the next agenda?
Because you gotta bring everything to the board, no matter what committee you are, if you
Right.
decide to do something. So,
So should we put that on the next agenda? So it's-
I'll email Darlene here shortly.
that way, two people can get, you know, they can meet with the librarian or whoever, the fire department or Darlene and say, hey, what's your problems? Then you start doing the digging. So, that way there ain't five people digging,
Right.
so. I'd say we table the action with IT, with Yoast until, possibly next meeting or the meeting after.
I'll second that.
Roll call, is there a second? I'll second.
What?
Oh, I made the motion.
You made the motion, I seconded it.
Usually I don't make the
You want me to
motion.
tell that out?
All right, roll call, Don, aye, Stephanie.
Aye.
Kevin. Aye. Tanya.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Discussion possible action on underlayment for the ball field.
This is on me, Jimmy has always complained about the outfield fence. This is basically, it's 10 or 12 inches wide, it snaps around the poles, and it took me longer than it should have to measure it, and I requested a quote Monday and haven't gotten it yet, so, if we could table this till the next time around. I'm not even gonna guess pricing. It's not as expensive as you think, but it's still gonna be a cost.
Let's say man hours, cause they ain't got weed eater.
Yeah, if he doesn't have to weed eat it and Jimmy stays happy,
And it will always look nice.
it will always look nice. So, I'll make a motion to table the table the underlayment, for the ball field fence.
For a
I'll
second.
second that.
Roll call, Stephanie.
Aye.
Kevin.
Aye.
Tanya.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Donna. Approve or disapprove library PC for Dell Pro Micro Plus for 23/13/47.
Hadn't been approved
I
yet.
say, we haven't gotten any meeting minutes
That
yet.
hasn't been approved?
No.
Well, not only that, I would say,
Well, the library board signed it.
It has to be in your meeting minutes now.
gotta be in the minute. But anyway,
Okay, I thought it was, but.
is that something that the IT person has?
Has IT said, this is exactly what you need?
No.
Here's why, okay? You need to
You need to tell him what you need.
You need to tell him what this computer has to do. This is what I expect my computer to do.
Right,
And this is the programs I'm gonna run, this is what it has to talk to, this is what it has to do.
yes.
And as many IT issues as we had, I really don't wanna create any more. So, once Chad gives his blessing on it,
He
says,
did. We went over it 2, 3, 4 times, since November when I first wrote up the grant.
okay,
So, we have all our specs and everything exactly. And I presented 2 bids to the library board, they voted on this one, they signed, the purchase order they gave to Darlene, and so,
Right, but you haven't voted on it in your minutes. It said in your last minutes that you gave to us that you were gonna vote on it on March 5th.
right,
And so we don't have those minutes saying that occurred.
okay, so you're saying we cannot get the PC then?
We have to table it. You'll have to ask for it to be on the next agenda because we don't have proof that you had it approved by
I
yours.
see. Even so the purchase order is not
Yeah,
enough?
it still has to be in the record for us to approve.
Okay.
Do you have a copy of the minutes by chance?
When I can print, I will. But anyway. So the
This
next,
time I'll table the library's PC purchase for the Dell Pro Micro Plus for 23/13/47. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Roll call, Kevin.
Aye.
Tanya.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Donna. Aye. Stephanie.
just wanna mention that fluctuates a little bit by the day, or by, as things are kind of going up and storage, and so if there's a slight fluctuation, we're never gonna get down to the exact penny, because week by week that changes a little bit,
They can approve up to a certain amount.
up to a certain amount.
Yeah.
When you have your meeting, have them approve up to a certain amount,
Okay.
not to exceed.
Number 5, approve or disapprove Fiala truck repair for the 2015 Chevy 3500 repair estimate of $93,3498.
that was all gas in there, your gas tank related,
Yep, it's the neck.
filler necklace.
Brought it out.
It's cracked or broke or something, and an O2 sensor and something.
Now I'll make a motion to approve Fiala's truck repair bid, estimate of $934.98 as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Roll call, Tanya.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Donna. Aye. Stephanie.
Aye.
Kevin.
Aye.
Discussion possible action of SEI access.
So SEI came out and they did a couple things. They fixed access to this, whatever, I can unlock this door remotely now. I can see the ring camera remotely now. In that, they said, well, you got a lot of users. Do you really need all those users? And when I was the fire chief, we weren't handing out cards freely, but the deputies, and we need to go through a couple of lists, which it's gonna basically mean me sitting down with my remote access, and I got a list from Sergeant Bain when he was here of the deputies and what they have, and then what Darlene has for public access. They also came in and they made a change in the fire station. It used to be, for years and years, the keypad unlocked the door, and you opened it, you went in, you went out, and you locked it. Same code you locked. The key fobs unlock the door, they leave it unlocked for 7 seconds, and then they lock the door. We had a huge problem with people unlocking the door, walking in, going back out, hitting it with a fob again, or card, or whatever, and the door won't unlock. And they would call me and say, this door won't lock. Stop messing with it, and it'll lock. Now, the door for the meeting hall, or for the meeting room, that would unlock for 7 seconds, then it would lock. So when patrons were utilizing that building, the door would open and close, the door would close and lock, and then there was no way to remotely open it. I asked the SCI to come in, they put a control box in the meeting, or in the hall itself, and you shut it off with a switch. So in theory, people unlock the door, go in, flip the switch, the door stays unlocked. When they leave, they open the door, they lock it, and they walk out, in theory. So that's the new access to the fire station. Over the next, between now and the next,
Because we did it today, we had some.
It worked?
there and it
looked like a dream. Perfect, that's what we like to hear. So, over the next 30 days, before the 1st of April, I'll go through these lists and see who has access, what we can do. Can we set a fee for lost key fobs and such?
Yes, I think we already have one for lost equipment.
Well, usually you give them the first one out, they need another one, then it's like,
Well, but if people don't return it, that's
For
what
the
we're
rental
talking about.
stuff, if they do not
That's
return it,
part of the
the
fee
deposit,
for
there's
the
a deposit that
deposit.
they have.
Okay.
But if it's a non-profit, yes, we could charge them.
You lose the key fob, you lose the key fob.
I know.
I mean, I'm about out of key, I still have, I don't know, maybe a dozen or so, but, if we have a schedule of fees for lost key fobs, that would be spectacular.
I'll have to look that one up, but I'm pretty certain we do. We put that one in.
Okay. Then I don't think we need to do anything else with it. I'm just gonna keep messing with it. That's why it's on the agenda. Does anybody have a problem with me going in and
No,
working this over?
it should be only active members of the fire department and essential employees anyway, shouldn't it?
well, sheriff.
Yeah, right, but it's essentials.
Cause they provided us a list, right? Darlene?
Yes,
Apparently,
Yes.
well, of the key fobs.
yeah,
I didn't put the numbers out there, I just gave the names, but I have the numbers.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this and work with Brandon at the same time, but I'll figure it out. So I don't think we need any action.
It's on that app, if you go to the app and go to the user.
Yeah, I happened to not bring that phone this time, and I don't know why.
alright. Good on that?
I'm done with that, if everybody else is.
That'll be good. Okay, approve or disapprove Jess Smith conditional use permit for 250 Broad Street.
This was the line item for the hearing earlier on. So I make a motion to approve Jesse Smith's conditional use permit for 215 Broad Street.
Second,
250 or 250?
I'm sorry, 250 Broad.
Fair enough. I'll second that.
roll call Mark,
Aye.
Stephanie,
Aye.
Kevin,
Aye.
Johnny.
Aye.
Board comments or questions? Stephanie?
You don't have me at this time, except for Darlene, thank you for all your hard work and dealing with all of the things that don't go great every day.
Kevin?
Two quick things. Mark, you said you were working on that fence underlayment, but I noticed there's a couple chunks of that yellow stuff missing. I don't know if we have any extra to replace.
Topper?
Yeah, the
Um,
gates, I think it blew off.
I don't think we have any answers.
Okay, well, I'm just saying,
And
it's,
Jasmine got them, they only got enough for what we need.
okay, I just
we'll
noticed.
see what we can come up with to cover
Okay.
that.
And the only other thing that I noticed driving by the fire station the other night, the floodlights we got under the eave, they're flickering, they're like, I don't know what's going on with those. So,
I'd send a maintenance
yeah,
request
I
out.
will, I just bring up your attention there, so I'm working on stuff around the fire station, so. That's all I got.
Tanya?
I just wanted to say thanks to Joe, Justin's wife, for continuing to keep the residents and I guess giving them the news and stuff. And Darlene, thank you. All the rabbit holes, taking care of them, organizing them. I think you're doing a great job. I really appreciate it.
Anything else? Mark?
I've been in contact with the state of Nebraska regarding their plan to clean the ditch between Main Street and 4th Street crossing along the co-op there. They brought a backhoe out, they scratched up about a skid loader bucket full of dirt and pulled up wires and stopped because they didn't know what the wires did. Pretty sure they were abandoned utilities, but they couldn't, it took them a while to confirm that. And I said, hey, we can start on that again anytime soon. And state gets very, 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 very nervous when they start digging up wires. So there's a good chance that they're gonna put that out for bid to get it done now, instead of doing it themselves. That way if a contractor hits a wire, it's not the state's problem. So, again, be it ever so painful, there's progress being made there, just not a whole lot. That's all I have.
I see there's a stop sign ran over at 3rd and Oak Street by the fire station. But other than that, good job, Darlene, you're doing a heck of a job. I know it's frustrating sometimes, so I see it all the time. When I come up here, you're just starting to pull your hair out, so.
Never so slow, but trying to make progress, Darlene.
I had Darlene, look up JEO's, bid for the water stuff that when we had, they presented different wells. So we can throw that into the mix for when we start looking for different options, so hopefully, who is that out there, the new well company?
Ashland Well Service?
Huh?
Ashland Well Service?
It ain't Ashland, it's, who is that well service? They were just here. AWS.
Ashland Well Service.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll help them, because we had tests done for,
Right.
because they were talking about putting the well by the water tower, but there was some reason why, and there was some kind of chemical or some kind of,
High manganese and high iron by that one.
something like that, so that'll help them, so. Other than that, we can adjourn at 7:38.
Tanya.